Hello everyone, welcome to my class. So today we are going to study part 2 of lesson number 1 class 7, and the name of the lesson is nutrition in plants. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's start our video. So we have studied about the plants, that plant contain chlorophyll, and because of that, with the help of the chlorophyll, sunlight, and using the raw products like water and carbon dioxide, with the help of this, they produce carbohydrate and oxygen and release oxygen. Okay, this is the photosynthesis process they can perform. Okay, so plants that have chlorophyll, they can perform the photosynthesis process, they can make their own food, but there are some other plants also who do not contain any chlorophyll. Okay, hence they are unable to prepare their food by themselves. Therefore, they rely on other plants and animals for their food. Okay, this type of plants are known as heterotrophic plants. Now, this type of nutrition can be further categorized into 4 categories. The first one is parasitic mode of nutrition. Second is insectivorous mode of nutrition. Third one is saprophytic mode of nutrition, and fourth one is symbiotic mode of nutrition. So one by one we will study these 4 type of nutrition in detail. Okay, so let's just start it. The first one is parasitic plant. So what will happen in this parasitic plants, that some plants live on another plant for their nutrition. Okay, these are called parasites. Now the plants on which these parasites plants survive are known as host. Okay, the plants on which these parasites plants survive are called host. For example, you can see here cuscuta. And this type of nutrition, the host does not get any benefit from the parasite. Only the parasite get the food from the host, but host will not get anything at all. Okay, and the example is cuscuta and casidia. Cuscuta, you can see in the picture the yellow part. Okay, this one is cuscuta, and it is growing on the green plants, growing over the green plants. Okay, so the cuscuta take the nutrition from the green plant, the food from the green plant, and the green plant which is host, okay, on which it rely. So the host will not get anything from the cuscuta or the parasite. Understand? So in the parasitic plants, what will happen, that some plants some plants live on another plant for their nutrition, and this type of nutrition is known as parasitic nutrition. Your parasites, your parasitic plants, these plants are known as parasitic plants. Okay, now the second one is insectivorous plants. So insectivorous plants, you can, as the name suggests, insectivorous means insects are there. Okay, somewhere the insects are involved in this. So some plants depend upon insects for the food. Okay, and they are known as insectivorous plants. They depend on insects for their food. Okay, and what will happen, that the leaves of these plants are modified into a picture-like structure. You can see here the picture means pot-like structure. Okay, the leaves are modified into picture-like structure, and the top of the leaves act as the lid. Okay, which can open and close the picture. Now the picture contains hairs inside it in the downward direction. So when some insects goes inside, it trap into the hair. After that, the lid, it will close, and the picture captures the insects, and it will secrete some digestive juices, with the help of which it will able to digest the insect. Okay, which help in the digestion of insect. For example, like this is a picture plant, and the above picture is the picture of Venus fly trap plant. Okay, so in this also, when any insect sit in this portion, what will happen, that it will close and secrete the digestive juices to digest the insect. Okay, so what are insectivorous plants? The plants which depend upon insects for their food are known as insectivorous plants. Example, picture plant and the Venus fly trap. Understand? Now the third one is saprotrophs. Okay, so what happen in this type of nutrition, that the organism or plants, they obtain their nutrition from the dead and decaying organic matter. So this mode of nutrition is known as saprophytic mode, and the plant which exhibits saprophytic mode of nutrition are called saprotrophs. Okay, so some organism or plants, they survive on dead and decaying food and organisms. So this mode of nutrition is called saprophytic nutrition. Okay, and the organisms that survive because of the saprophytic nutrition are called saprotrophs. Understand? Now the saprotrophs also, when they grow over dead and decaying matter, what will happen, they secrete some digestive juices onto dead and decaying matter to dissolve it and then absorb the nutrients from it. Understand? So the example of saprotrophs are fungi, mushrooms, and some bacteria. In the picture you can see the fungi is growing on the bread. Okay, so what will happen, when the fungi grow, it secretes some digestive juices onto the bread. Okay, and it will absorb that nutrients from the bread. Understand? Now the next part, symbiotic relationship. So what will happen in symbiotic relationship, that in this relationship what will happen, that organisms live together. Okay, both of them share shelter and food with each other. In this type of relationship, in symbiotic relationship, both the plants are benefited, or both the organisms get benefited. Okay, they are living in a symbiotic relationship where both the plants get benefited and both of them are sharing their shelter and food with each other. This type of relationship is known as symbiotic relationship. Understand? Now the example is like some fungi which lives in the roots of the trees. Some fungi which lives in the roots of the trees. Now what will happen? The fungi take food from the leaf. Okay, food from the tree. Now in return, what is the thing that is fungi giving to the tree? So in return, the fungi help the tree in absorbing water and nutrients from the soil. So in this way, both the organisms are benefited. Fungi take the food from the trees, and in return it helps the tree in absorbing water and nutrients from the soil. Okay. Second example, like algae is an organism which contain chlorophyll. Okay, and that lives with the association with fungus. Okay, fungi, and they together known as lichens. Okay, so the algae provide food and nutrition to the fungus, and fungus provide water, minerals, and shelter to the algae. Okay, this way the both are benefited, and when they live in association with each other, they are known as lichens. Understand? So we have studied 4 types of mode of nutrition. The first one we studied about the parasitic, then we study about these saprotrophs, okay, and insectivorous plants, and the last symbiotic relationship. Now the next topic, The next topic is replenishing the soil with nutrients. Okay, now as the plants, if we grow the crops again, and if we grow plants on the same place, on the same soil again and again, so what will happen? The nutrients, there will be a deficiency of nutrients in that soil, so we have to replenish it with the nutrients. So in that condition, what we should do, that we provide some manure and fertilizer so that they will get the nutrients like potassium, phosphorus and nitrogen, and it will help them. These nutrients help the plants to grow well. Okay, and the second thing is that there's an bacterium which is known as rhizobium. Okay, this rhizobium, the bacteria, is able to convert the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates, because we all know that the atmospheric the nitrogen is present in abundance, 78%. Okay, so but what will happen, that plants will not utilize the atmospheric nitrogen directly. Okay, so what will happen, the rhizobium bacteria which is present in the roots of some plants like peas, beans, grams, legumes. Okay, and what will they do, the rhizobium convert the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates, and after that the nitrates can be used by the plants to make the proteins and fats. Okay, and rhizobium bacteria also get nutrients from the plant, so they are also living in a symbiotic relationship. So rhizobium bacteria is also helping to the plant, and the plant will benefit the bacteria. Okay, they are living in a symbiotic relationship. So this way the rhizobium bacteria is also helping in replenishing the soil with the nitrogen. Okay, so this is the two things or two ways through which we can replenish the soil with nutrients. Okay, the first one is fertilizers, providing fertilizers and manure. The second one is that the rhizobium bacteria convert the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates, which is used by the plants to make proteins and fats. Okay, so the lesson is over now, so let's just discuss the part 1 and part 2 in short. Okay, so first is plant nutrition. Okay, so the plants have chlorophyll. Okay, they can prepare their own food, they can synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis, and the plants which are able to make or which prepare their own food, okay, are known as autotrophs. Okay, now in the process of making food in plants, what are the substances that used are water, carbon dioxide, okay, minerals. Essential requirements are chlorophyll and sunlight. Okay, these are the raw material which is used, or reactant we can say that, in the process of photosynthesis, and the product, the result is producing carbohydrates and oxygen. Okay, the spelling is wrong here, so please correct it. Okay, and the oxygen is, after that the oxygen release, the oxygen is utilized by the living organism for the survival. Understand? Here the mode of nutrition, the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. In the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, what will happen, the organism depend directly or indirectly on other organism. Okay, so the animals comes in this category, and some non-green plants. Okay, fungi come under this category also. Now the autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition, the organism which make their food themselves. All green plants come under this categories. Now there are other modes of nutrition also. The first one is what? The parasites. So the parasite, that some plants live on another plant for their nutrition, these are called parasites. Okay, and the plants on which these parasites plants survive are called the host. Example, cuscuta. The next one is saprotrophs. So what will happen in saprotrophs? that some organisms survive on decaying food and organisms. So this mode of nutrition is called saprotrophic nutrition, and the organisms that survive because of the saprotrophic nutrition are called saprotrophs. Okay. Now, insectivorous plants. The third one is insectivorous plant. So some plants depend upon insects for the food. So they are known as insectivorous. Okay, in that in insectivorous plants, what will happen? The leaves are modified into the picture-like structures, and the part of the leaves act as a lid which can open and close the picture. The picture also contains some hair in the downward direction which trap the insect, and after trapping the insect, what will happen? They release or they secrete some digestive juices which help in the digestion of insects. Okay, the example are fly trap, and the second is picture plant. Okay, and nepenthes also. Next was is the last one is symbiotic relationship. So in the symbiotic relationship, that some organisms that live together, okay, and they share shelter and food with each other, these are said to have a symbiotic relationship, in which in this type of relationship both the organisms are benefited. Okay, example, some fungi live in the roots of the trees. Now these fungi take food from the trees, and in return it helps the trees in absorbing water and nutrients from the soil. So this is our first lesson. So all of you please go through these notes and understand it thoroughly, and also read the lesson also, because if some points just left out, please let me know about this. So we will discuss them also. Okay, and so thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope that I pray to God that all of you stay healthy and stay safe in this condition. Thank you so much.